and welcome to the LARP News Podcast. Getting ready for Pre-Larp E2 even, Jesus Christ. And as you probably already know, unfortunately Millie's not going to be at E2. So initially I thought, oh no, I'm going to be recording this on my own. But I've got a very special guest and friend of the podcast with me today, Oily!
Howdy, hello.
Hey. Those who don't know, Oily plays the wonderful Murdoch. Who I have mentioned many times on the podcast in the past, stemming from our first encounter with him being the wheelbarrow. And I figured, let's pull him in. He's got his host of you got your own podcast with Yada. So yeah, Oily's agreed to come join and listen to me ramble at him, and hopefully have him ramble at me as well, about E2. So, Pre-Larp. That wonderful world of what have we been up to between E1 and E2, and what we've done to prepare for this event? My list is very short. How's yours?
Podcast,
yeah.
E2 has snuck up on us. When you're looking at E1, having just gone, you're like, "Wow, it's like 7 weeks or 8 weeks until E2. Oh, I've got loads of time to do stuff." And then suddenly it's like the winds are coming out, and then you're like, "Oh, it's quite soon."
I start to panic when the winds come out, because it usually means the event's around the corner, which, as always, it is. Any of the wins interested you this summit?
Do you know, I haven't actually waded into the winds yet. The winds are talk about the winds in this abstract way is really weird.
Yeah.
The winds. No, I haven't listened to any winds yet, because that for me is right before I leave for site, I will listen to the wonderful Empire audio channel on YouTube, and I'll try and get a general gist of what's going on in the Empire right then.
Yeah, they definitely do a good job, those guys. I think I've only read 2 things out of all the wins this summit. The first being the address, so it's one of the Winds of Fortune, the Walk of the Imperial Address, done by Emperor Vesna, which is talking a lot about the loss of Therunin.
Yes.
In regards to how the Empire should open its doors up to the people who've been removed or forced to leave courtesy of the Druge invasion and Empire's lack of action in regards to doing anything about it. That's an icy opinion. There.
We're not bitter about it at all.
Oh, not at all. No one in Navarre is at all bitter about the what has happened to Therunin. I know I certainly am not. And obviously, Ian's character is from Therunin, so he's obviously very annoyed as well, or at least upset about the fact that his home is gone.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I read the To Hold Death's Hand in Mine, which is again one in regards to basically the retreat from Therunin to the Barrens and other surrounding areas. That's been a really cheerful read.
It's been a real roller coaster to be in Navarre recently, having the converting everything into armies, and then suddenly, like, next event, losing a territory.
Losing a territory and an actual national army.
Yeah.
Which obviously we know the Vrishkins also lost their army in that one. It was quite devastating to know that, we're not going to do anything to try and push back, we're just going to leave it to go to them and just flee. But again, a lot of this is icy opinion, so I'm not going to go too heavy into it. Just know there's going to be a very angry changeling, and not just about the height of things for a change. So is there anything you're looking forward to at E2 this year, hey?
Well, several things, but the culmination of Murdoch's ball gowning E2 is time for Murdoch's wedding.
Oh wow, someone's finally got Murdoch to settle down.
Yeah, it's crazy for me, because I also keep forgetting about it and then remembering that's like the big thing I have to do this summit. So, and as someone that's also in the midst of planning their real wedding, it's very strange to have duplicates of everything going on, where I have to worry about like 2 venues and 2 guest lists and 2 outfits, and the wonderful player Fitz, who is playing my fake fiance, has been really good with supporting me. I think we've divvied up our effort.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping Murdoch should have a snazzy new outfit for his wedding. That will be taking place on Saturday in Navarre.
Looking forward to it.
Well, yes.
I've got my invite.
You have got your invite. I think you're on your VIP row, aren't you? Right at the front.
Oh, am I? Oh, la-di-da.
What that consists of is, I think there's just a chair. We're just going to bring
just me in one chair.
I think you could probably stay in your chair at camp, to be honest. It's in the market, so...
Oh, well, I'll just drag a chair along with us. Looking forward to it. I have, I think I've still got the last ever bottle of the famous Werther's Original vodka somewhere.
Oh,
that may have to come along.
That is
There's a little...
That's a special like wine cellar. You know, like when people have £3,000 bottles of wine in their cellar. That's like the Empire equivalent of that.
Oh yeah, if anyone wants to buy it, it's a couple of hundred thrones.
Yeah, it's out of production now.
Exactly, out of production. It's been aging in my cellar, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's quite an interesting time. Like I say, because normally there's no Ian at this event either, so I'm literally going to be the only Ashbon on site because we've got no Orion either. So it's going to be very strange. Just me having my own little tent. I am still down near the Dreadshields bit, so I'll still set up in my usual little corner.
I was going to say, I assume you'll come and claim your little corner of the Dreadshields tarp as usual.
Oh yeah, I'll stick my chair in there, so it's like I know the rules. If it's your chair, you can kick people out of it.
That is true. You're always a pleasure to have around the Dreadshield camp, obviously, as a drunkle of the Dreadshields.
Well, I don't know whether the drunkles even exist anymore, because I think after our first meeting, at least 2 of them died.
Oh, so it was like a curse.
So, it was all. I think it may have been. In fact, Goldie may be the sole surviving member of the drunkles, or the inebriables, as we're also known.
Does that mean he inherits the drunkle fortune?
Well, yeah, I remember when Keys died, the first thing I did was, as Gwithian went up with my hip flask, which was still half full of whiskey, and said, Keys would have wanted you to have this. So, that was a wonderful moment of the past. But, yeah. It's obviously you got your wedding.
Yep, that's it's clearly a national event.
Oh yeah, hence the reason it's in the market. The joining of Navarre and the League.
That's going to be really interesting, is trying to...
Yeah. Well, we've got the most leaguish Navarre joining up with a leaguish person who spends most of their time in Navarre, so... Let's be honest, you spend a lot of your time over in the League.
Yeah, I've always said, people have said, why don't you just join the League? And I say, well, it's sort of more fun being a Navarre in the League, because people are surprised you have a knife on you a lot of the time, or you'll just come up with very different ideas of how to, conquer the enemies of the Empire. And they think...
Stab it.
It's like rivers run red, or, just some low-key... And they go, oh, you haven't got a 12-step political scheme to conquer them. You're like, no, you just go in there. Brutality.
Yeah, exactly. Slaughter's fine, isn't it? Oh, we can't be cruel anymore.
Yeah, we're not allowed to be cruel to anyone, especially not our enemies.
Shakes head. Needs to have a chat with a few guides.
Bungle, how's the shield going?
Oh, as in Kara's shield?
Yes.
Well, it's all been upped and ready to go. I spoke with the guy who led the Deadfall. No, Driftwood even. Because Driftwood was basically all the odds and people who wanted to be part of a unit but didn't have one. And since they're mostly new players, I spoke to him and he has someone in mind for it. And we're hoping to be announcing who that is at the Fawns Council on Friday night. Going to be very nice to hand that over to someone new. give them a bit of the history of why we do this with the shield, and my hunt for Ilium continues. It's that's a very, very long dream, and unfortunately I think we've got 2 of the little chubby frogs made up for me to sell. So I've got a load of the little tree star frogs, but the little chubby ones were definitely the best seller. So hopefully might be able to knock a few more of them up before the weekend, but who knows.
Yeah.
I will be trying to sell more frogs. Frogs and booze seem to be the things that sell best at Empire, I found.
Yeah, I think it's come back round. For a while it was baked goods, and then it was alcohol. And then it was now, my coin purse can always be opened by something that's a novelty, like something I've never seen on field before. I think last year someone had some cups, like some ceramic cups that had like Navarre, like I think it said strength of Navarre, like pressed into it. And
nice.
And I just went, yeah, absolutely. Like I've never seen this before, so I've got to have one of these. Yeah, so that's my tip: is pick something. Yeah.
Pick something niche, and
pick something niche.
And find Oily, and he'll buy it from you.
There's not a lot of money on field at the moment. A lot of resources, not a lot of money.
Yeah, tell me about it. I've been trying to get rid of some resources for quite some time now. I'm hoping the market has sort of had a bit more of a time to settle again, but I think I'm going to be holding on to some Embergelt for quite some time.
Yeah. As the broker of the Dreadshield's war chest, we are very flush with resources, not very flush with money, and tons of herbs as well, and I just don't have a use for any of it.
Well, have you not got an apothecary in the Dreadshields?
We do, but literally I keep trying to pass off the herbs onto the apothecary, and they're like, I've literally made everyone 5 of every potion. Like, he's got so much. Like, these are just all the spare herbs, really, and it's all the useless ones as well. So
you can sell the potions for a lot more than you can sell the herbs for individually, and people are more likely to buy the potions.
Yeah, that is true. Maybe I'll have to talk to our apothecaries this summit
and see if they can make stuff like Goose Whisper. People always want to buy that shit.
That is also true.
And cat piss.
Yeah. Again, if you hit the right time on field, drugs just fly out your hand. All the legal ones. And
about 10 o'clock on a Saturday night usually.
It's when people have had a couple of drinks. I find they're in the mood for something fun, and you just kind of wander by, and you're like, "Do you want this weird role-playing card?" And they're like, "Absolutely, yeah."
It's when someone walks up, do you want some cat piss? I was like, not really. I don't really want some fucking cat piss. It's like, I think the only time I've ever done any sort of IC drugs, I think it was Goose Whisper I've done.
The first I made a really good friend whilst I was on Goose Whisper, who's now the best man at my wedding. Just because they wandered by me in the by the standing circle in Navarre, and they were talking about drugs, and I went, drugs? And they went, have you got some herbs? And I went, yeah. And they went, you could come along then. And we did some, and then I remember trying to run through the Sentinel Gate when it was closed, and I just ricocheted off of it.
Bounced off the bastard.
Oh, that was my first event, yeah. So I really threw myself into that hole.
Obviously, we've got the wonderful thing of battles, which are coming up at this event.
Oh, yes, please. Tell me, Bungle, what opportunities do we have to hit stuff?
There are 3 this summit. I think last time we had 4 options.
We were spoiled last time.
We were spoiled last time. We didn't take either of the 2, which were to fight the Druge. But anyway, so we've got Breakersland, Block the Path, in Salot Met, Ottermeyer, fighting the Jotun. Woo! Yay! And that is can only be on the Saturday. There's one in Reynos, which sees the township. At Bastasor, again fighting Jotun, which can be done either day. And then one in the territory of Sarengrave, Influence the Valorn, in Mireach Bloodwater Marsh, fighting against the Druge.
Ooh.
So I know the Navari generals, I'm hoping, are going to be pushing for us to be on that one on the Sunday to at least get a bit of a stabbing into the Druge. because we kind of want that.
But you're saying we could have a double Jotun weekend.
There is a risk of a double Jotun weekend. Which, I mean, as a Navari player, who, I mean, I don't really take the field much anymore, but when I did, Jotun was always my least favourite to fight as.
Yes.
And as a Navari, it was quite fun to fight against them, because they absolutely hated us, and we could really play into that and have a lot of fun doing things that, like executing Jotun on the battlefield and getting yelled at by other nations, being like, "Fuck off."
It's a good RP opportunity, I find.
Yeah,
like it's a
exactly.
fun roleplay moment when you have an internal argument because you're like, well, this is how we do war, and they're like, well, this is how we do war, and you're like, well, we could both be right.
Yeah, we're supposed to be picking them back up and giving them back, but then they can fight and hit me again. Whereas if he's here down and I kill him, no more Jotun. They stay down.
Yeah, you're only gonna kill him once.
Yeah, you don't have to get them down. They're like, oh, here's a little potion for you. So no, that's wasting my resources on someone that, well, ultimately wants to kill all the Navarre because Jotun hate us because we keep executing them. But they execute us. Like, they'll execute no Imperial citizens apart from Navari.
I like that we have come to the understanding with the Jotun that is the way that we conduct ourselves with each other now.
I think it does put quite the dampener on any attempt of peace talks with the Jotun and the Empire. It's like, we will never give you peace as long as the Navarre are with you. Which, who knows, after Thurunin, perhaps we'll decide we want to secede.
Well, our problem is that all our territories are all scattered all over.
Yeah, weird. So if we were to secede, it's like, do we need a passport if I want to go from my home here in Herkinia over to this place over in Miaran?
Yeah,
great.
We'd end up being like one of those weird micronations, basically.
Yeah, and we'd just get absorbed in, or the Empire would declare war on us for seceding, which I think would be quite hilarious as well.
Yeah, it would. It would make Anvil interesting.
It would make Anvil very interesting. Like,
I think
if I have to stay inside their woods.
Because I think technically Anvil's right on the corner of Miaran. I think it's where 4 territories come together. I could be sprouting utter heresy at the minute, but I believe it's where 4 territories come together, and Miaran is one of them.
I mean, Anvil's not far from Miaran.
Is it technically not attached?
It's actually quite close to Brachiliand.
Interesting.
Which, again, to go back to the whole Thurunin point of, we'll get Thurunin back. I'm sure we were told that about the Brock and the Affethan. Yeah, we'll get them back. Okay. Brachiliand is right next door to Anvil.
Just feel like
why are we just leaving it?
The Valorn's doing a big just spearhead straight into the middle of Anvil.
Yeah. It's not that far for them just to have a little wander. I don't know what the scale of this map I'm looking at is, but
I wonder what the Valorn in Anvil will be like this time, because sometimes for me and you that like a kilt, sometimes where we camp in the backwoods of Navarre, that's a little bit sketchy.
Yeah, it can get a little bit worrying with the brambles and whatnot as well, especially around that area.
Thigh tickly. Yeah.
Yeah. But I've got a couple of things to help clear out a bit of a path if I need to. So, usually when I'm in all my kit for LARPs, I always have speed saw, and then something just for taking down small branches and stuff. So
I remember in the old days we literally just had the dread shields just march and just stamp down wherever we thought the tents needed to be, and then a path back to the Namarket area.
Oh, see, I'm lazier than that. It's like, you know what? Having all this long grass on the tent will be quite a nice sort of cushioning floor. But that does mean the bottom of my tent, when I bring it up, is always soaked and covered in insects.
That's camping. That's camping in the woods.
So, apart from wedding, you looking forward to any of the battles? I think even any of those take your fancy?
So I'm not really sure, really, because I don't, unless we're fighting the Druge and the Valorn, which should be fun.
Yeah.
I have just swapped around some of my skills because I found that what I was doing was I was a very heavily armored healer, and a lot of the time I just end up picking people out of the line when they fell and throwing them backwards to other healers. But I wasn't doing a lot of healing myself, so
Yeah.
I have kept healing. But I've also taken the archery skill, so I've spent some points that I had to accrue. Because I thought, if I'm going to stand behind the front line, I might as well ping a couple of arrows off whilst I'm there. And I really, from other LARPs I do, Northern Kingdoms mainly, I really like LARP archery. So I want to do it more in the big battle sense. And so that's what I'm hoping to do this time, is hopefully ping a couple of arrows off. Maybe pick some people up, throw them back like normal.
Who knows? Perhaps Gwithian will even make a venture through the Sentinel Gate for his first time ever. I think I might have to take back to the field at some point soon, considering I have got the physics skill, which I took on purely because I knew I'm not a frontline fighter anymore. I haven't got that sort of energy. Whereas I think behind the lines healer could probably do that. So who knows? Got my shield if I need it. I've got my chainmail, which I will not forget to frickin' wear this time. Because that's what doomed me. I'll be fine with just a leather chest plate. Oh, we're going out to help some winter markers. Oh, that'll be fine. What could go wrong?
I remember having this exact conversation with you, where you said, "Oh, can I come out with you?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And you're like, "Do I need my chain?" I'm like, "You probably be stood behind the dread shield, so you probably don't need it." And you're like, "Okay, yeah, sure." And then literally 10 minutes before we went through the gate, you went, "Oh, I'm just going to go out with the winter markers." And I was like, "Yeah, sure, go with the winter markers."
Yeah. Really managed to get us a job hired to be the healers for a small winter mark block who didn't have. I think they had one of their own. It was like, okay, thank you very much. I think was it Haddis Hall? Hurst Hall, that's the one. Yeah. Oh.
So, are you thinking that's going to be this time or next time, or are you just going to play it by day?
I think I'm going to play it by day, see how I feel. Because it a lot of the time it depends on the spoons I have, the temperature, what time I've woken up, which is normally around about 5 o'clock in the morning. So usually by the time it hits sort of 10 o'clock for everyone sort of getting IC, it's like, I've been up for 5 hours now. Do I really want to go fight now? We'll see how I feel. I'm not going to do like I did last time and guarantee that I'll be going on the field, because that's what I did last time, and then I died. So
I think that was also your return to the field, wasn't it?
Yep, it was my first time on the field since the longest dark. And I carked it. It was just like, great. Who knows, perhaps I'll see if there's any sort of medium com, low com, what you got, smaller conjunctions that I can tag along into or something. I'm sure there will be. There is the big list of those up on the Profound Decisions wiki. I won't bore everyone by reading through absolutely every single one of them. But there is one in Thorunin, which looks like that could be fun at 9:30 on a Friday night.
Ooh, that's
highly likely combat.
That's dangerous, that is.
Yeah, it's like one of those sort of unknown. Well, the unspoken rule is, if you want to kill your character, go on a night skirmish.
Yeah, in fact, do you know what? I think I've been invited on that one, and I'm still a bit 50-50 if I want to go or not, for that exact reason, which is night skirmishes are where people die.
Yeah, and you got your wedding the next day.
I know. Imagine the drama, though, turning up and being terminal.
But imagine the RP you'd get from it.
Yeah, I know. So, yeah, it wouldn't be. It would be upsetting IC, but I don't think it would be upsetting OC.
No, I mean, how would your your icy fiance take it? So I ain't marrying no dead man.
Just make sure the will gets changed, like right in front of her eyes. So
you
inherited my smut empire.
Yeah. Of course. It also is the combination of two smut empires.
In the finest traditions of the league, as it was explained to me, is Navari's married for like a variety of reasons, but generally like a how we would understand it, love, maybe kind of strength, I think they also marry for. But the League purely marry for business. And so I think like me and my my fiance have differing ideas of why that we're marrying. I think she likes me. She's like, this is a great business deal.
Murdoch's marrying for love. His fiance is marrying to expand Play Nation into Murdoch's smut empire.
Well, I'll do a plug for them. There is a wedding edition of Play Nation this time, so it's just Murdoch and Julie. So if you like Murdoch's calendar, if you like Play Nation, you're gonna love this season's Play Nation.
Oh, looking forward to it.
I'll have to make sure.
I'm a fan of both, so. Oh no, I pay for my smut. So I don't think I've paid for your calendar.
A man of class.
Yeah. I'll get free drinks, but I'll pay for the smut.
You did actually pay your bar tab. I was thinking about this before coming on. You did pay your bar tab. It was Geller that never paid his bar tab.
Geller never paid anything. I think I slammed down a throne or two at some point. It's like, boom, that's for my drinks tonight and going forwards.
You did, and I went, I will make sure you always get served first.
Yeah. Yeah. Never had it said that Keys didn't pay for a drink.
Yeah, that is true.
He was,
yes.
He was a raging alcoholic, but his brother's not much better.
Well, yeah, I see a lot of Keys and his brother. I can understand why they're brothers.
Yeah, the only difference is really the beard's filled out in the middle, and one of them's got giant fucking antlers.
Most people, when they die, they take it as an excuse to get rid of part of their old character they didn't like. Like if they had a really complex Mero makeup, they go, okay, well, I'm not painting myself again. I'm just going to play a human, or I'm going to play, a changeling with small horns, because it was too annoying. What you did was go the other way, and you were playing like a fairly normal person before.
Yep.
And now you were like, I would like to clatter into anything below 8 foot.
Yeah. Well, I think it's because that's one of the best ways I feel, especially since I was staying within Navarre. It made sense that I need something that's going to really quite make me different to my previous character. And, yeah, antlers. I was either going to do that or Cambion, basically. I can't be bothered with all the Naga makeup. I can't be bothered with Mero makeup. And Brian makeup as well. Like, anything I have to stick stuff on my face, because I've got quite a big beard. There's not much real estate on my face for sticking things. So, just sticking the antlers on, I have the huge buff because of my choice of having locks for a hairdo, which means I always wear a woolly hat no matter what the weather is. Hence the reason there may be a slight drone from my fan in the background on my side, because it's very warm. So yeah, I chose the antlers. The set I'd ordered were, I've got a set which are only about 2-3 inches long, which looked great, but the band was horribly uncomfortable. I was like, I can't wear these for a whole event. So I just started walking around the traders at the start of Gwithian's first event and spotted those ones. I was just like, yeah, fuck it. Go big or go home, innit?
They are glorious. They are majestic. It's very easy to spot you across Navarre with them.
Yeah, or you can usually hear me shouting about something being too fucking low.
It's the shout followed by angry changeling mumbling. I'll be like, oh, there's Gwithian.
Yeah, there he is. He's yelling at someone for having too short a door. I think it was it in Dawn? One of the bars we were in on your stag do, where they had the net lighting just inside the tent where the bar was, and I actually got tangled up inside the netting in there as well a bit. We're like, great, now I'm caught here. Now I've got to become Dornish. Shit.
I mean, they don't need the help with anyone else converting to being Dornish.
No.
There's a very strange pipeline of Navari turning into Dornish, I've noticed.
Yeah, it's an odd one. Yeah, whatever floats your boat.
Yeah.
It's I think Dawn is probably one of the few nations I couldn't see myself going to, purely because of how my brain is. Let's say I love the nation and the people who are in it, brilliant. The way they play it is brilliant. My brain just can't handle the whole lords and serfs thing.
Yeah, I quite like Dawn. I feel like I've got my night fix now because I started playing Cyrodinia at Menhirs. And so that was I specifically picked that because I was like, I have all this clank. I want to dress like a knight, and none of the LARP characters I play are knights. So yeah, I feel like I've ticked that box now. That's going well for me.
Nice.
I've looked up, everyone, as of where we are now, Monday, the weather for this weekend.
Ooh.
It's not the nice big LARP forecast that gets passed around, sadly. This is just Met Office, but we're looking like cloudy, probably both days, and we are looking like, wow, Friday's going to be 24 degrees. Saturday's going to be like 20 degrees, and then Sunday like 19, 20 degrees. So
it's not too bad, but
that's quite warm.
Quite warm. It's not the warmest that we've encountered. I think we've had some in the I think either high 20s or low 30s before.
I believe there was either last year or the year before. I think we had two events that were really hot.
Yes, I believe one of those was while I was a proxy senator.
Oh,
and having to do stuff in the Senate building in scorching heat when it didn't have a roof. I'm just like, great. Like it was quite funny watching everyone who was in the Senate building sort of like carrying around the edges and sides, trying to follow where the small amounts of shade were. Like, that was a lot of fun.
Well, that's right. They've got a nice big tent now, so
yeah.
But I call that perfect LARP weather. Somewhere between like 10 and 20 degrees, cloudy.
Yeah. Still need a bit of sun cream. Don't forget that. Even when it's cloudy, you'll still get burnt.
And to drink.
I've learnt many a time.
And to drink some actual liquids. Not booze.
Yeah, do keep your non-alcoholic beverages coming in as well, and not just coffee or energy drinks. Do drink water. Hydrate or dihydrate.
That's fine. All the people that listen to this aren't noobs, and so they know that.
They do. It just in the off chance that we've managed to collar in some a new listener who's like, oh, I'm going to this event, I'll listen to what they're talking about. It's like, drink water, bring socks.
Sell cake. That's normally the big three.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're bringing younglings to the event, get them to sell your things, because it's much harder to say no to a child going, do you want to buy a cake, than it is to a grown adult saying, do you want to buy a cake?
They have a way of charming the money out of you, because you just it's very, like you said, the smaller and cuter the child, the harder it is as well.
Yeah, I think I remember Dave buying a carrot for, I don't know if it was like 5 rings or a crown, something ridiculous for a carrot, but it's because some kid came out, you want to buy a carrot? I'm like, yeah. Damn it.
No wonder he didn't ever have money to pay his actual bills.
Yep. When I was kids, I used to have to keep my wife in booze and entertainment. Now Gwithin, he's just got his own self to look after, so his money seems to go a bit further. Love you, Millie. Just got to throw that in there.
Oh, we're going to miss Millie this event.
Yeah. There are going to be a lot of people who are going to be missed at this event. Because I know a lot of people can't make it either because of previous engagements, or like with Millie for work. So yeah, it's going to be odd not seeing some very familiar faces about as I would be used to. Because I think a few of the Dreadshields aren't there, are they? Or
yeah, we've got a few Dreadshields missing. A lot of people I know are at a LARPer's wedding, which I think is insane that they would plan their wedding on E2.
Who would do such a thing?
Well, my wedding's at E2, and I said it at E2 thinking most people would be there. And then I sent out all the invites, and then everyone was like, "Oh, I thank you very much for the invitation, but I'm actually not going to be there." And I'm like, "Because I'm at another wedding," and I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, it's going to be an odd one. Let's say, because I was looking at the camp planning, and I was like, that's a lot less tents in our area than there was at E1.
A lot more real estate.
So I was a little bit confused. So it's going to be quite nice to not feel like we're all cramming in against each other, because I mean the camp planners do an amazing job. But obviously they can't plot where the trees are, where there's random stumps, where there's weird bits of bracken that are growing over stumps and old like pigsties and shit like that in the middle of that area. So sometimes it's a bit of a juggle to fit us all in, but it looks like it should be a bit more of a play around, a bit easier to fit everyone in.
I think
which should be quite interesting.
We're very low fuss back over the back there. I think they just kind of throw all our tents over there, like you guys know how to sort it out. Just sort out your own little like village part over there, and we can talk to all our neighbours and sort it out.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the main thing, is because I know obviously Kit does all the forest stuff, and he camps quite close to the edges of the market, and it's just a case of like, this is more of a rough idea of where you're going. We don't mind if you're not exactly in the spot where we put you on the maps. It's just so we've got a rough idea of the space we have and who's where. Just discuss it with the people you're camping nearby. It's like, do you mind if I go here? Because like I like being quite far back away from everything. It's very nice to be right against the back end of the woods area, because it's furthest away from all the noises, because I don't like too much noise when I'm trying to sleep. But I've got to remember to bring all my headphones and everything like that. Like, unlike I did last time, where I forgot them for the first night, which was not a lot of fun, but could be worse.
It's to make sure you don't put your tent in the middle of the road either, like that one person in Urizen.
Oh God! Yeah, don't do that.
That was very interesting. Every Urizen, when I walked up there, I just turned to an Urizen. I went, "What's this about?" And they're like, "We don't know."
Yeah, don't block roads with your tents, please. Cool. I don't think I have much more to say about what's coming up for E2. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to chilling out in the field with some of my closest friends, and having an absolutely amazing good time. And so, thank you very much for joining me, Oily. If people want to hear more of you, where can they find you?
They are free to go and listen to mine and my good friend Yada's podcast, which is called Immersive Idiots, which does feel very much like a little version of LARP Noobs. No, wasn't intentional. So you can find us on Spotify, YouTube. And yeah, I think we've got one episode up at the minute, but if you like what you hear, please subscribe. I think I will be around on LARP Noobs a bit more, though, over the summer, covering for me.
Yep. Definitely. It's very nice to have a new co-host.
So I hope you've enjoyed my dulcet tones.
Yeah. Well, I guess since you were also Navarre, we can go back to the traditional ending.
Oh yes, this is what I've been waiting my entire podcasting career to do this.
So, Oily, strength of the Empire.
Strength of Navarre.
Hey!